A river of milk suddenly flowed under the man's feet. He looked up in confusion, only to discover a long, narrow stream of milk. He traced it back to the source. Turns out, the jar had been knocked over by a duck, but the man was puzzled. Even if it was a full jar of milk, it couldn't possibly flow this far, and it was still flowing out continuously, as if it would never run out. He carefully picked up the jar and examined it closely, but he still couldn't see anything special about it. So he started pouring the milk into an empty bucket. The bucket below was quickly filled up. The man was a bit nervous at this point. Why hadn't the milk in this jar run out yet? Could it be that this jar could produce milk on its own? So he continued pouring the milk into a larger container. He soon filled up another large bucket, but when he turned the jar upside down, the milk was gone. The man realized that as soon as the jar was inverted, the magic would disappear. He looked at the room full of milk with a smile on his face. Then he got rich by selling the milk. The thatched hut turned into a mansion, but it quickly attracted the attention of thieves. The thieves snuck into the house and stole the cornucopia. Unexpectedly, during their escape, the cornucopia accidentally fell into the river and was washed away by the flood. From then on, it was lost without a trace. Until decades later, the cornucopia reappeared. It was found by an old woman, and the old woman made a living by selling rice cakes. So she used the cornucopia to hold rice cakes. She discovered that the cornucopia could continuously produce rice cakes. The old woman tried putting a bill inside. The cornucopia replicated it again. The old woman was so happy counting the money that her hands got sore. She was afraid that others would come and snatch the jar away, so she hid the jar in the cowshed on the farm. Then she took the money that had been produced and was about to deposit it in the bank. But the items from the cornucopia were all replicas. All the serial numbers on the banknotes were exactly the same. Therefore, the police thought the old woman was counterfeiting money and put her in jail. In prison, she was always bullied by the prison tyrant, until one day, 2 women were brought into the prison. Disgusted by the ugly face of the prison tyrant, Dana beat her up. Because of this, the old woman was very grateful to Dana. Thinking that she was already old, she told the 2 of them the secret of the cornucopia and its hiding place, hoping that they could unleash the value of the cornucopia and use it to benefit society. However, the old woman never imagined these 2 kind-hearted women were actually notorious scammers in the small town.